this is Charles Onyet with IGN, and I am playing the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim. Alongside me here is Nick Coleman.
Hello, everyone.
And yeah, we're just going to give you a tour of, this is the Xbox 360 version. I've been playing for review and have a fairly high-level character here, and have been focusing mostly on magic. You can see the two spells active in my hands at the bottom there. These are both fireball spells, which at this point I can shoot individually. Like that, they do area of effect damage where they hit, or I've unlocked a dual casting perk so that if I trigger both spells at the same time like this, it will actually combine the spells into a Street Fighter fireball.
Nice.
Which has a more significant effect when it makes contact. Oh my God, there's a bear. Okay, well this is a good opportunity to show off the combat system. Now he's not really attacking me yet, but it looks like he wants to. So what I'm going to do, since I am a caster, I am not even wearing light armor. I'm just wearing clothes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, Nick, if you're curious why I'm just wearing clothes.
Why are you wearing clothes, Charles?
Oh, what an excellent segue. Let me go into my skill tree. So this is the new skill tree for Skyrim. Obviously, the presentation has been done up quite a bit from what we've seen in Elder Scrolls Games Past. This is very fancy. Let me go. So you'll see I'm level 40, and for each level up, you can level up your magicka, your health, or your stamina. And
those are all down the bottom, yeah.
Yeah, and there's no attributes to deal with. You don't deal with any of that stuff.
No strength, no agility, no intellect.
That's all been cut. Mm-hmm. But you do get a point every time you level up. You'll notice I actually have 7 points because I've been saving perks. You don't have to use them immediately. But if I go over to my alteration to touch on why I'm not wearing armor, so it costs 1 point to unlock each of these nodes, and as you see on the screen, it requires that skill be a certain level to unlock. So I can't get, I can't unlock Atronach here until I have 100 in alteration. And to get 100 in alteration, I basically just keep using alteration spells, and then it will level up to that point, and then I can unlock that. Anyway, I'm not wearing any heavy or light armor because mage armor here makes my protection spells like Stone Flesh that actually increase my armor rating, makes it 3 times as strong. I've done level 3 out of 3, so I put 3 perk points in there. So if
you're actually better off not wearing anything. You'd have more armor by not wearing anything and casting a spell than you would be if you just wore a little bit of armor.
Exactly. I know that seems slightly counterintuitive, but if I go over to my apparel tab on my menu here, you'll see I just have Archmage's robes, which are just robes. There's no armor designation next to them. Well, that's just a ring. An amulet, and then yeah, these boots and gloves, they're just like ornamental stuff that I have enchanted to have special effects. But then if I go and actually, you can see my armor rating on this screen, which is 0. Which is not going to do much against this bear. Is pretty much going to rip me to shreds if I roll in with a 0 armor rating. So I'm going to bring up my favorites menu. This is sort of the quick switch thing where you can assign anything you want to the favorites menu from your main menu.
It sort of replaces the radial menu from Oblivion.
Yeah, it's just there's a lot more you can actually assign in there. Like I can
not limited to 8.
I can do spells, I can do weapons, I can do shields or whatever I want to do, or I can do, you know, just random stuff. Like I can make this a favorite. There, now it's a favorite.
Good. Now you'll be able to look at that mushroom anytime you want.
So I can definitely do that. Well, I can look at this mushroom anyway. You can look at anything in the game in the menus, which is pretty cool.
Nice. In fact, that's sort of a part of a lot of quest objectives I found so far. Anyway.
Some quest objectives do require you to actually examine the items in your inventory, like in an adventure game.
Yeah.
Anyway, that as exciting as that grass pod was to look at. There it is. There's that mushroom.
Quick, use it on the bear.
Awesome. So I am not going to use the mushroom on the bear. I am going to use, where is...
Oak flesh?
Not oak flesh.
We got something better than oak flesh?
I do have something. Ebony flesh. There we go.
What?
So I'm going to equip ebony flesh in both hands. So it's going to pop... Oop, I did it wrong. There we go. In both hands, combine the spells, and now I get a much more powerful version of that armor. So if I
Can you show off the armor rating?
If I go back to my armor rating, which is up, yeah, There, you'll see it's now 300. So
It's a slight improvement, yeah.
So that's better than 0.
That's
That's much better
gigantic.
than 0.
Yeah.
I'm also going to bring in one of my summons because I've been concentrating a lot on summoning magic, or conjuration magic, I should say, and bring in a warrior here who's going to help out with sort of keeping the bear off of me if he would do his job properly. And attack the bear. He also has a fire sword, which is pretty nice. So now I can
Nice.
sort of hang back.
Well, he's just going to kill a bear all by himself.
Yeah, he's going to
so-
do quite a bit of damage to the bear, but I'm going to make it look pretty in the meantime, and use my Wall of Flame spell, which I'm actually going to equip in one hand, and then in my other hand I'm going to put Heal, because you don't have to put the same spell in both hands. You can
That's right.
you can mix it up. So I can use the Heal while punching.
Nope, not what you're after.
Not what I wanted to do. Let me try that again. Okay, now I actually have a flame spell. So I can use the flame spell and heal simultaneously, which is pretty cool. Obviously that bear is very dead after being hit by the demon, and I can loot it for, claws or a bear pelt if I wanted to turn that into armor.
You can also sort of move around the bodies and most objects in the world by holding down the grab button.
So I
Although
can still
the
do
bear is a
this.
bit heavy, so I don't know.
If I really wanted to, I could move this bear around.
Yeah,
But
if you can roll them down the hill like you could in Oblivion.
not much of a point to that. I'm
Uh,
not having a lot of success. The bear is just kind of in the fire. I guess I'm just trying to... Okay, the fire went out. But yeah, the Wall of Flame spell is pretty cool because it is just a channel stream of fire, which is the same as the flame spell you get very early on in the game, but if it does make contact with the ground, it will actually just stay on fire.
Yeah, really good zone control, basically. You can seal off entire areas from enemies, or they'll walk through and get damaged.
Okay, so what I'm doing right now is I was just, I've done a lot of the major quest content in this version, and I'm not going to do any of that stuff because I know it's spoilery. But this is Skyrim. This is the whole landmass of Skyrim. Every single icon here is a point of interest that I can fast travel to if I wanted to, so it just brings me to a load screen and then loads me in right there. You have to discover the territory first before you can go there.
Now, these aren't all of the points of interest, though. There are still sections of the map that you haven't really explored.
Oh
yet,
yeah,
right?
even down south here, you can see there's a ton of stuff I haven't.
Yeah.
Like there's so much content packed into this world that, I mean, here you see it's much more closely spaced. All these little farms and stuff like this around the city of Whiterun. But then in these wilderness areas, I mean, yeah, there's mountains that are difficult to traverse, but there are ruins like this, and this stuff up here that are just hidden within there.
How long would you say you've played so far, just so we have a sense of how much content there is and how long it took you to discover all these locations?
So this represents what I'm showing off here is about a little bit over 75 hours of play.
Wow.
And there, I just discovered this ruin here, so now I can fast travel back to it if I choose to. So this particular dungeon I just found randomly. I mean, there are quests tied to entering into a lot of the subterranean spaces around Skyrim, but there are still rewards to be found even if you just wander by yourself and don't necessarily have an explicit quest goal to get in somewhere. Looks like there's a skeleton guy sitting on a chair. I can't loot him, so I'm assuming he's going to come to life at some point and try to attack me, but I'm going to look at this stuff because there's some gold. And a journal, which started a quest. So that's nice, and that's actually a good example of some of the how you can just find quests everywhere. Like, you don't have to just go to town and talk to people, and that's the only way you get quests. They pop up all over the place, like, for instance, this journal, which I believe requires me to... I'm going to take that journal, actually. Requires me to locate some ceremonial weapons. How's the skeleton not? I know you're going to get up. There you go. You just showed up on my mini-map. All right, and fireball. Anything.
Oh.
Yeah, the nice physics system takes over
Yeah.
there after enemies are killed. But yeah, we can take a look at the quest log real quick. That's not the correct button. So here are all of the quests that I have right now. Keep in mind, this is after over 75 hours of play. I still have all this stuff to do. There's so much content in this game. These are completed quests down here. Hopefully none of this stuff is too spoilery. There are main quests here. There are also side quests that aren't related to the main storyline, the Civil War storyline, and the 4 other major story arcs that have to do with the Thieves Guild, the Dark Brotherhood, and it's not called Mages Guild, but it's basically the same thing, and same thing with Fighters Guild, although it's not called Fighters Guild.
Interesting. Okay.
So there are also these miscellaneous quests that are usually pretty basic tasks. These feel a little more random, but a lot of these lead to really interesting stuff. Like the Dark Brotherhood, the quest line actually starts through here, so you never really know what you're looking for.
So,
And
I mean,
you
a lot of
never know if this is just going to be a standard fetch collect type of thing, or if it's going to turn into something a lot more substantial, which I think is really cool.
A lot of the miscellaneous quests seem to be very simple, at least at the start. Like, I saw one where you had to steal some Argonian ale for a drunkard in a town, and I got that same quest, and it was really simple. But
You managed to pull that one off?
yeah. Oh, I mean, after hours of planning, I figured out that if I stealthed, that would make things easier.
Interesting. So I'm gonna put some shields up here so I don't get immediately killed. In terms of quest tracking, so I can go back into the tracker. I have miscellaneous highlighted here, and then I can highlight any one of these, and it'll highlight it on my map for me. So it makes this pretty easy to figure out what to do. Of course, you can choose to not do this if you don't like being pointed in the direction that you're supposed to go. I know, I certainly understand the value of that. It's just in this case, I think it helps, so I don't waste too much time trying to figure out where to go. Now, in addition to the overall world map, you can see your mini map here that shows. There you go. Locate the ceremonial weapons.
So somewhere in that gray void, there are 2 ceremonial weapons.
Yeah, and because there isn't a door icon, I know that they're actually on this floor, so I don't have to travel anywhere else, which is contrasted with something like, you can zoom in a little bit here, but you can see this door icon here, which just says I need to go into this ruin. Oh boy.
Oh, you got...
I think I just got hit by some kind of trap.
I think you got hit by the physics engine flipping that
or maybe I
wheelbarrow
got
on
hit
you.
by, maybe I got hit by a bug. I don't know. Surprise, there are bugs in Elder Scrolls games. I don't know if that was one, but I've definitely run into multiple, including ones that allow... looks like I need to put the ceremonial weapons here.
Yep.
I guess.
I think you're going to need to find some weapons.
Door will open. Oh, I got a skill up. All right, for the... Uh-oh.
What?
Okay, well, he can apparently go through the door. I can't, but he is an intrepid follower.
He's got his own ceremonial weapons.
I trust that guy. He is out to kill. I'm glad he's on my team. So I'm going to stealth a little bit here, and one of the cool things I can do with magic, you saw there how conjuration increased. That's because I'm using conjuration magic, and then once you level up enough skill categories, your overall character level will increase. A good way to do that is to use a wide range of skills. So I'm going to equip my bow here. This is a fake bow, a magic bow, but using this bow will increase my archery skill, so it's actually pretty useful because it helps to level a whole bunch of different categories at once, which can increase the rate to which I level. So I see a guy over there. I'm sneaking right now, so if I...
Have you got your armor spell on?
I do have my armor spell on. You can actually see it because my hand is sort of coated in a watery type of texture, and that guy seems to be moving. So I have upgraded my archery skill so I can actually zoom in, and I'm going to try and headshot that guy. There you go. I actually successfully landed a sneak attack, so I got a little bit of I got a 2 times damage bonus. Of course, you can adjust that if you want to.
Nice.
There, I got another sneak attack. These guys don't know what's going on.
Now you can also, like Oblivion, you can add
my armor
poisons.
just ran out, so if I get hit with an arrow, I'm pretty much going to get instant killed now.
Yeah.
I'm at 0. That guy, they may have found me. Actually, you can tell because the eye icon in the screen just says I'm in danger of being detected. Once that eye is fully open, that means I will be detected, which may happen very shortly. Oh, unless those guys run directly into a trap. Which is that spike wall, which is actually a great opportunity for me to just roll in here and I'll try something different. I'll lay down a fire rune and maybe cast an icy spear. So I'm going to put a fire rune on the ground, which if that guy gets up...
Probably.
There we go. So the fire rune will sit there, and if he tries to advance...
Ouch!
That's what happens.
That is brutal.
Yeah, that's a pretty useful spell if you're still at a distance from the enemy, especially for a caster. Anyway, I could continue to go... Oh, well, here, let's try out this Frost Spear spell.
Be careful of the trap there.
On this guy. There. It's actually kind of cool because it sticks in them. Oh, there's two guys there. Oh, I should have waited for the trap. Reset, reset, oh god! Oh, so much for that summon. So traps can work for and against you. Oh, he's shooting ice magic at me too. Unfortunately, my resistance to magic is a lot better. Anyway, I'm gonna get
Epic ice battle.
I'm gonna get out of this ice battle and go fight a dragon because there are a lot of dragons in this game. That's what a lot of the talk was. Pre-release was about how they're adding dragons and things like that. So I'm gonna go show that off, and then I can also show off the shout powers, which I actually haven't been using yet.